Michael, and what we're going to do today is stage one of the hero's journey based on Burning America. So we're going to be analyzing Burning America according to The Hero's Journey by Joseph Campbell. And this is stage one. So the idea here is really to try to find out how all of these things fit together and how do they fit into the story, because we're going to be explaining all that. In stage one is the ordinary world. And those of you who are familiar with Joseph Campbell's work, you want to show your protagonist in the ordinary world. And this is one of the most essential elements of any story, even the ones that don't follow the 12-stage structure to a T. And there's three reasons why writers need to show protagonists in their ordinary world. And number one is to set up the conflict disrupts the character's ordinary life. So when we open up the story, we begin to see the character in his ordinary world or in her ordinary world to set up the conflict. In Burning America, we see Paul, the protagonist, who is feeding the child as a young baby, a little baby. So this is kind of unusual. So why is a father and why is a man feeding a baby? Well, that should answer your question a little bit of saying, well, here's his ordinary world. So that's step number one. In step number two, we foreshadow the story to come. The ordinary world at the beginning of a story offers the writer a chance to foreshadow events to come, plant plot and character devices that pay off later within the story, and even allows for the opportunity to present themes and metaphors that will be explored within the narrative. So in all kinds of stories, we see this. And for Paul, the protagonist, it begins to show what's going to come. Things are not going to be ordinary, and there's a lot of conflict in Burning America. And then last but not least, the third point is to create catharsis and empathy. Today's cinematic interpretation of catharsis can be translated as the feeling we feel after the resolution of the story and the protagonist's overall journey. If the story opens up in the middle of a conflict and we're introduced to the protagonist in the midst of dealing with that conflict, we have no context of who they are and where they came from. So when that conflict is resolved, the reader or audience doesn't have a feeling that the story has been a cathartic resolution. We've only witnessed a character dealing with a conflict. It could be entertaining to watch conflict, and all kinds of things are, but we really want to have that ability to experience catharsis. So in Paul's particular story, what he's done is to show that what happens is not ordinary, and it takes him out of his ordinary world and into the world of conflict. So stage one of the hero's journey based on Burning America. And what I'm going to do is to go through all of those steps in order to see how the hero's journey is emphasized and exemplified by the story in Burning America. So we're going to follow the protagonist, we're going to follow the subplots and all of the things in there, stage 1 through 12. This was adopted by Christopher Vogler and thought of how he connected it to Joseph Campbell's 12 steps. And this is for anything. So a screenplay, what I'm writing here, a novel, Burning America, or any creative work that you have. Use Joseph Campbell's stories because it's universal. All cultures, all religions, all across the world. And that's it for this particular episode of the Doctor of Digital on stage 1, the hero's journey, looking closely at Burning America. Until next time, stay as well.